Our specialty here at Thermawood Canada is in hardwoods, but we can also do softwoods. So when people are talking about siding, there's a number of different questions that they have. First thing is that, what species do you have? The second question is, what kind of profiles do you give? And what kind of colors can we get? So today, we're going to talk about exactly that, those three elements. So when we talk about the species, we can do this in pine, we can do this in western hemlock, we can do this in Doug fir, we can do this in maple, ash, oak, or birch. Those are the four hardwoods that we use, and they're the most common ones that we use. And the most common one that we use most of the time is ash, because of its nice, beautiful grain that it has, and people like to see that. One of the other reasons on why people would like to go back to wood and get away from some of the plastics is, one, because of the environmental impact that it has whenever they change it out. How do you dispose of the plastics? And there's all kinds of stories around that. We're not going to get into that. Today is all about talking about wood. And so the beauty about this is that I talked about the wood being hydrophobic and not have any absorption of water or retention of water in there, is that there's also no sap left in the wood. Years ago, everybody had their homes built with wood. And the outside of the wood, what would it end up is that anybody that's my age out there, you know that when we were kids, our parents used to send us out to scrape the sides of the windows or the doors or the siding, because the paint was always bubbling off. It was bubbling because the sun was hitting on the surface, and it was pulling all of those saps out to the surface of the wood, and it was getting caught up between the bound of the paint and the wood. And it gets in behind, it starts bubbling it up, and then the paint would crack and then peel off, and then you had to go scrape it before you could go back in and recoat the wood. With thermally modified wood, you don't have to worry about that, because there's nothing left in the wood. There's nothing going to be pulled out, or any moisture being pulled out of the wood to come to the surface and have an impact on that bond between your surface and the backside of the paint. So that's an important part to say.